YouTube? It's your girl Heavenly Kelly, and I'm here with another video. I will be talking about my journey through PCOS, endometriosis, and also gastric sleeve surgery. So where to start? I was at age 13 is when I started my periods, and they were horrible. I remember at age 13, I'm like, all my friends have their period and I don't. And I wish I didn't say that because my periods will last about 3 months straight, and it would be heavy bleeding with a whole lot of clotting. TMI, I know, but that made my mom go to the OBGYN with me, and that's when they diagnosed me with PCOS. And PCOS is polycystic ovary syndrome, and it's a hormonal disorder that makes your periods basically last a long time, and you have less estrogen and a lot more male hormone, which is the androgen. And that is also something that side effects are basically more hairier people, and you're just hairier, which I am. You cannot tell right now because I wax. Anyways, but for years I went on birth control. So I was on birth control since I was 14 years old, and it just did not work. And I remember always wanting to know why my periods were just horrible. I was missing school. I also missed my senior project presentation, and I had to go to the principal, which was a male, and let him know why I missed it. Like, hey, I missed it because my period, was in the way of me getting my grade for 12th grade so that I can be able to graduate. But thankfully my doctor wrote me a letter and I was able to do my presentation and I graduated. But that was the seriousness of my periods. I was not able to go anywhere. I would be in bed in pain all the time. So I got more into the health career and more into health and into the medical field, and I became a medical administrative assistant. I went to school for it and I got my certificate, and I started at an OBGYN office. And there I met my favorite doctor, and I had told her, hey, I have these bad periods and I've already been seeing someone, but all they say it's PCOS, but I feel as though it's more than that because my periods last for a long time. So she did more blood work, and she also seen that with PCOS, you don't produce a lot of insulin. So she also saw that my sugar levels were outrageous. So my A1C was just outrageous, and she was just like, I think you need to see an endocrinologist because you might have diabetes because of the PCOS. And so they put me on metformin, and I saw an endocrinologist, and at age 20 I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Now my family, diabetes does run in the family on both sides, my mom and my dad. So it was kind of something that could have happened to me if I didn't take care of myself, but because of PCOS and I did not take care of myself, I was always eating whatever I wanted, and sugars because I love cookies. That's my favorite thing. So I got that diagnosis, and then she also went and we did surgery, and the surgery was to see how bad my PCOS was. And I also had painful, like really bad cramps. So she was saying that I might have endometriosis, which a lot of women now are getting diagnosed with. But at age 20, I was also being diagnosed with endometriosis. So it's a painful disorder in which the tissues are inside of your uterus grow outside of your uterus, and then those tissues are not where they're supposed to be, so they become more painful. And the more that they spread, and you also should pay attention to those things, because depending on the stages of endometriosis, you can also have endometrial cancer. So after the surgery, I did have endometriosis, and we came with a plan, and I know most people do not like that, but I got the IUD, the Mirena. A lot of women these days are not too happy with it, but after getting the IUD, my periods were so much better, and I was able to basically live a normal life. I was able to work, I was able to go places and not worry about the pain and not worry about basically almost wearing a diaper, because that's how much blood I would lose. Fast forward a couple more years, I was still seeing an endocrinologist for my diabetes, and this is where I had done some more research for gastric sleeve surgery, and I talked to my OBGYN, I talked to my internist, which is your primary doctor. I talked to my primary doctor, and I talked to my endocrinologist, and I was like, this is my plan. I would like to get the gastric sleeve. Is this gonna be something that is a good decision for my life? And they all agreed that this will be a big help for me. And especially because I am planning to have kids in my future. And to do so, I was at a weight that I shouldn't have been. I was looking at 275 pounds, and I am 5'6". So I was definitely obese and morbid obese at the moment, and I was very unhealthy. And I tried everything. I tried every diet. I tried every exercise, and they would work to a point. So my body was just so used to it, and then all of a sudden I would stall. And I worked hard. I was at the gym all the time. I was dieting crazy, and my mom was like, this is still not helping your sugar levels, because no matter what, it was like my body just it wasn't producing enough insulin. So I had to become on insulin with pills, and I had about 5 different medications that were what I was administrating to my life, and I was just not about it anymore. I was like, I'm too young to be on medication for the rest of my life. So I talked to my parents and I talked to my family, and we agreed that this would be something that would benefit my health in the long run and my future in the long run. So I got the endometriosis and the PCOS all done and settled, and so here comes the diabetes, and we got that settled with gastric sleeve. I end up seeing my A1C, my sugar levels drop in a matter of like months, and I was so excited. It was like this was the push that my body needed to get healthier, to get to the point that I needed to get to after all that I do. But with gastric sleeve surgery, we don't have as much vitamins, and you do lose a lot of hair, but you can't tell now, but I did lose some hair because of the lack of vitamins that are in your body. So I take multivitamin gummies, women, every day. And I also take B12 for my hair growth and for my nails and for my skin. I also take collagen, which I need to order because I don't have any left. And that is to firm my skin, because with extreme weight loss, you also get loose skin and it's just not a good thing. But with good regimen of diet and exercise, I lost, I want to say like 80 pounds, and I still need 20 more pounds to my goal weight, but that is just a healthy weight for me. I don't want to be too skinny or too drastic, but I know that as women, even as men, we struggle with a lot of things, especially our weight. And in the world that we live in right now, your weight is so important to everyone for some reason, to social media, to everything. And it's just this whole fad that you have to be working out and you have to be doing this and that and you have to look a certain way, when we're all made different and all of us have our own healthy mindset and our own vision of what looks healthy. So stick to what you feel is healthy for you, and don't let other people or social media tell you differently. You're made different. Everyone is supposed to be made different. We're not supposed to be made to look like each other. So just be encouraged with that. And I encourage myself every day because I beat myself up all the time. And sometimes I slip up and I eat a whole bag of cookies by myself at a whole day. And when my boyfriend comes to visit me, he yells at me and says, "Where'd the cookies go?" Well, cookies are gone in my belly. But I beat myself up because I'm like, oh my gosh, you've come a long way. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. But I'm not going to deprive myself on things that I like. And just because there's one slip up does not mean that you can keep slipping. So just get back up and just keep going. Anyways, that's my story. So comment, like below, and also subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys, and until the next video. God bless.